Greetings and welcome to the channel. I'm the Shotgun Shogun. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're not new here, well, welcome back. So it's about 4 in the morning, and I was doing some research on some units and stuff like that for some videos that I'm working on scripting, and which, by the way, subscribe for those videos when you get them. And anyways, I was over on the pridwin.gg. Big shout out to those guys for putting together some fantastic information. They'll be linked down in the description. But I was checking around and I looked at the blog to see if there was any brand new news. And well, is there? And it is a bit of a doozy. Changes to the 5-star light cones and some characters' kits. A lot of changes were revealed recently on the official Chinese community page for Honkai Star Rail. We will check those details inside because, well, unfortunately, this is going to change a little bit of the videos that I've already made. I'm still going to put them out. I'll just amend in the comment section the changes to things like Bronya's kit, which we'll be talking about, right? So, anyways, let me hop into that. So this is going to be a source from the official Chinese site, and this is going to be character changes. Keep in mind the official images found in the post above are missing skill multipliers. This means we can't tell if a character got nerfed or buffed in that regard, and we can only notice the changes on the mechanic side of the skills. But this is going to be really big for units like Bronya. Now, previously, Bronya's skill dispelled a debuff from a single ally, advanced forward their action by 100%, and increased their damage by X% for 1 turn. This is really, really big because around like the end of the beta, I noticed I was watching some people talking about Bronya, theory crafting a little bit, and they were actually using Bronya's skills on herself in order to more or less like keep the uptime of her ultimate, like it just popping off and stuff like that. But they're going to be taking away the fact the advanced forward 100% if she uses her skill on herself. So it's going to be doing the same exact thing. However, if the skill is used on Bronya, it will not trigger the action is advanced forward by 100% part. This is to prevent that abuse because let's be real, it was pretty broken. This is a pretty important change as one of the popular builds in the final build for Bronya relied on her using her skill on herself. This is what we were talking about to gain free energy and keep near permanent uptime on her ultimate. Still, you would not use this tactic in every team, so the change won't really impact the majority of players. This is true, but this was a very, very broken mechanic if you were using this to kind of cheese things around. And obviously, Hoyo found this out and we're like, bro, this is a little broken. We gotta tone this down a little bit. The big brains out there are already finding out the sauce. Now, well, this is a unit that I used a lot during the closed beta test, and I really enjoyed this dude. I didn't think I would at first, but then I pulled him and I'm like, at first I'm like, oh man, I don't want this dude. But then I became a Welt believer. Welt's skills had the same wording, and the only thing that seems to have changed is one of his major traces. Now, before increased Welt's ultimate damage by 25%. Now, after using the ultimate, the targets affected by it will receive more damage for X amount of turns. So instead of just getting the flat 25% extra damage, it does look like it's going to be doing more damage to units that get hit by this ultimate, which means that there may be a debuff on them. And if that debuff is present, they may take more damage, which also means that can they resist this? The wording's a bit vague, but it seems Welt gained more utility as now his ultimate will function as a damage amplification buff for either himself or the whole team. Hopefully it's the latter because that would make him a lot more viable. That is absolutely true. If it increased the amount of damage that the units take from everybody, this could really put Welt into a very good flex position to just really amp up the extra damage coming in from maybe like a Jing or a Sele or a Dan, some really, really big powerhouse. Now, I used Welt as one of my primary damage dealers because, well, let's be real, he could dish out some decent damage. He wasn't a hard carry. Well, he was for me because I didn't really have another hard carry, but regardless, this could give him a whole lot of extra utility. Now, Himiko, her kit was actually revealed in English. There's actually a really important change here, too, that we've missed before. Her major trace was adjusted. Before, basic attack has an 80% chance to burn enemies for 3 turns. When inflicted by burn, with burn, enemies receive fire dot damage equal to 30% of her basic attack at the start of each turn. Now, afterwards, Himiko's attacks have a percent chance to inflict burn. This means that could be her basic attack, that could be her skills, and that could be her ultimate, which means that she will be doing a lot of dot damage. This is going to be a massive, massive buff for her if that's the way that it works, because you're going to be throwing out fire dot damage on her ultimate. You'll be throwing fire dot damage on her follow-up attacks, her skills, her basic attacks. This could be really huge to maybe give Himiko a little bit more extra utility outside of just like farming and clearing waves with AoE. Now, Clara and Gepard release skills were also revealed, but didn't spot any mechanical changes. Good. Here's the light cone changes. The 5-star light cones belonging to the 7 characters available on the newbie banner receive numerical changes, which is pretty weird that they revealed the numbers for the light cones, but for the characters, they're keeping them secret until release. So please keep in mind that the numbers shown below are only for superimposition 1 cones, so their base version. We bolded the changes to spot it easier. So in the name of the world, this is Welt's light cone. It's going to be going from damage to debuffed enemies by 20 to 24%, and the effect hit rate for this attack increases by 20% and attack increases by 20. This is going to have the effect hit rate tweaked down to 18 and the attack up to 24. So a little bit of a buff here at an effect rate minus 2%. I think overall this is a big buff for In the Name of the World. Now, Moment of Victory increases the wearer's defense by 24. That's going to be the same. Effect hit rate is going to go up to 24, and that's about it. Just a little bit of a tweak up on that effect hit rate. This is still good for Gepard because, well, you do need that effect hit rate on his skill. Night on the Milky Way, Himiko's. This is going to be for every enemy on the field, increase the wearer's attack by 8% up to 5 times. It's going to get a 1% buff here up to 9%. And then when an enemy is inflicted with weakness break, the wearer's damage is increased by 24. This is going to go up to 30. So this is going to be a really big damage increase right here for that Himiko, light cone. Sleep Like the Dead. This is going to be Yang's, and increase the wearer's crit by 32. It's going to be reduced, the crit damage by 32. It's going to be reduced to 30%. This is actually going to be a big nerf here. When the wearer's basic attack or skill does not result in a critical hit, increase their critical hit rate by 40%. That's going to come down to 36%. So obviously they were like, wow, this is a little bit too busted. Let's just tone this down a little bit. So this one's going to be getting a bit of a nerf here. Something irreplaceable. This is going to be Quara's light cone. This is going to increase. Going to get a 4% increase here on the attack, a 2% on the HP regen here, and a 4% on the damage increase. So this is going to be a buff right here. The battle isn't over. This is going to be Bronya's. You're going to get a 2% increase here on the energy regeneration, and that's about it. Not too much of a change there. Time waits for no one. This is going to be Bailu's, right? So increases the wearer's max HP by 12%. This is going to go up to 18%, which is going to increase her overall heals because, well, her heals are based on her overall HP, right? However, when an ally launches an attack on a random, a random attacked enemy takes additional damage equal to 36% of the recorded outgoing healing. This is going to be a huge decrease here because it used to be 50%. So this is going to be a huge tweak down. Obviously, they were like, wow, that's 50% of the outgoing healing. That's going to be just way too much. However, you are going to get that extra 6% HP, which is going to be giving you more healing. So you lose a lot, but you gain a little bit back. So it's not too bad overall. But this just came out. Well, it's the 21st now. And when the video goes up, which I'll be putting this up here shortly, but brand new information. It does look like some of these things have been changed. Well, we'll see. We've only got a couple more days until this game comes out, and it'll be interesting to see what people find different from the beta into the launch. Now, I've been making a lot of videos getting ready for the game, and a lot of my information is based off of the beta test versions because usually they don't change too much. But obviously they are. So I'm looking forward to getting roasted in the comment section for all of the wrong information that I have. But as always, if you guys have not, make sure you subscribe and make sure you sign up for the bi-weekly giveaway. The code I will put up on the screen right now gonna be light cones. I don't if I don't put it up there because it's really late, remember it's light cones. As always, if you guys like this content, like, fave, subscribe, comment down below. Do you think that these changes are good? Are they bad? What do you guys think of these changes? And I will catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace out.